Have you ever felt disconnected from your true self? Did you know that meditation can alter your brain waves? Most seekers are not even aware how, especially Dhyana meditation, can really alter your brain wave to bring you about into a state of presence and calm and inner peace and intense focus, and to experience even your divine presence. So Dhyana meditation is a powerful tool for transformation, and we'll go over 7 different secrets of Dhyana meditation, insight that will open up your eyes, how it could transform your life forever. And Dhyana meditation is one kind of meditation, it's classic, and it's the most potent, the most powerful. So how would it turn your brain wave? Us yogi, we live into the alpha state brain wave or theta wave brain wave, but there are many. Maybe some of you are a little familiar, but most people, especially people who don't meditate, they always live in a state of beta wave, very agitated mind, meaning like the amplitude, the frequency of thoughts is very high. I won't go into all the technicality of this because this is an entire long video, which you can watch on the channel in the playlist on Creating, Manifesting with the Divine. I talk about that in depth in my program there, which we made it available for you, how to manifest with the divine. But beta wave is that kind of wave where it's like the jabbering mind all the time. And there is the gamma wave. The gamma wave is more focus, concentration, but it's not a low, slow amplitude like when you go into alpha. Alpha, I call it the Zen state. Is Zen. It's a much slower amplitude. I think the frequency is like 7 to 3 amplitude, meaning so the electricity, the brain wave into your brain is so much slower, calm, focus, and in deep state of relaxation and rejuvenation. That's why I call it the Zen. It's very Zen. It's not reactive, it's not compulsive. And then there is the Theta wave. Theta is even a deeper state. The amplitude is even slower, where you go into a deep state of rejuvenation, or restoration, and inner peace, and deep focus, and a sense of presence. And yogis they altered sometime between alpha, theta, depending how involved they are in the world. And even deeper in samadhi, if you go into a certain state of deep samadhi, then it can even be delta. Delta is considered the sleep state for most people, but you can be in theta, which has very little amplitude, meaning has very little thought, little electricity going on into the brain. And so delta is like, for most people when they're delta, they're snoring, they're deep sleep. But for yogi, you can go into deep state of like nirvakalpa samadhi or swahaja samadhi, can be in a state of theta or delta. It's fascinating to know that because it shows you how meditation can completely transform your energy, because it's all about energy. Remember, the brain, especially the brain, is electricity, it's energy. And how agitated is your brain, how is your brain wave will have a direct impact on your whole entire body temple. So what are those 7 key insights? And Dhyana Lingam. I call it the linga because you eventually, the more you practice, you're becoming a linga, like an energy form where you emanate Shakti, like primordial energy. So the first one is in Dhyana meditation is it's where you dissolve, because enlightenment is just that, is a process of dissolving, dissolution, all what has accumulated. So you make a distance from your mind, from the mana maya kosha, one of the 7 layers of the mind, of the subtle body. I mean, there's, if you remember in previous satsang, Devi Mayi talked about a lot of this in different satsang, different teaching, different sheets in the yogic tradition are like envelope. They are in the subtle body. And right now we're going to stick only to the mana maya kosha, which is the mind. And so in the first insight is that you make that distance from the mind. You distancing all that conditioning, all the brainwashing, all the conditioning, and you ego identification, anankara. And then the second insight is Dhyana meditation is in a state of constant meditation. It leads you over time into a state of meditativeness, meaning it's, which leads us to the key number 3. It's not a journey. Meditation is not, it's not a journey. It's, I mean, it is a journey. It's not a destination. A lot of people get frustrated because this is the problem, the challenge for most people. When you agree, beloved, that you get frustrated. If you're stressed out, the mind is agitated, you're stressed, you didn't sleep well, someone poked your ego, or something aggravated you, or you sit, you get frustrated, you don't know how to meditate. And by the way, we'll go into this more in depth at the end here of the satsang, so stay tuned more about how to do the Dhyana meditation. Is that the big challenge is that you can give up the practice. You get so frustrated or angry because you do have expectation. You do have maybe an illusion of how it should be. And so that insight is that Dhyana meditation, or as a matter of fact, any meditation, is not a destination, it's a journey. So it is okay if you're not doing it right. You want to control it, you want to control the experience, and that's the danger. Don't do that. Which leads us to the third insight is, especially with Dhyana meditation, is this one in particular is all about awareness, a deep full of awareness. And the deeper you go into your awareness, the more you're going to experience the beauty of your true self, of your true divine presence, and experience life as its depth and its profundity. So awareness, what I mean by that is that you don't try to control your experience. If thought comes, you let them come. You don't analyze them. You become a witness. You are looking at them like clouds passing by in the sky without any thoughts, any judgment, which lead us to another insight, is exactly that. That to really have an experience of deep meditation is approach it with an open heart and an open mind and non-judgmental. Do not judge yourself, because now you're creating the complete different atmosphere. Then you're going to get tense, you have expectation, and you will try to force an experience or force to stop thinking, and then you're creating the opposite of what you want. So what I mean by that is total awareness is whatever is the experience when your eyes are closed, you just experiencing that. If the birds are singing, you feel your breath, you hear a thought, you feel body sensation. Whatever is happening is you become a witness. Remember, the first insight was to make that distance from the mind. So basically making that distance is you become a witness without judging. Don't put yourself down. And because now you're creating an atmosphere that will create the opposite. Now you will put your mind into a beta state where you're going to start going into analyzing and, well, am I doing it right? Oh, I have a thought. Let's stop that thought. No, I don't want that. So you see, so you just go deeper into awareness and you experience what is in the now. Because it's all about creating that space, becoming more focused into that awareness of your true nature. It's a full awareness. That's what Dhyana Lingam is, Dhyana meditation. It is exactly that, that you, when you become that Dhyana Lingam, is that you become that emanation of energy. So in that way, you expanding your boundaries of consciousness, you're becoming deeply aware of everything. It's an incredible, empowering practice. And now it leads us deeper into the next insight is, for most people, they need an anchor. And this is extremely important. In Dhyana meditation, you always are empowered to do it with a Bijan Mantra. A Bijan Mantra is like a buoy, safety buoy, you know, like a flotation device when you are in the ocean, so you don't drown, because you're learning how to swim. And be courageous, because it's a phenomenal journey, Dhyana meditation. I can tell you from my own experience. When I started over 30 years ago, oh my God, my mind was like the monkey mind. And it was like, it's to sit down for 5 minutes and find some peace was not good, was not conducive for meditation. I would think about dinner but it quickly changed though, because it's not that difficult when you let go of ego. So let go of expectation, let go of ego, identification, your anankara from Sanskrit, and just be willing to experience what is your awareness, just to sit there and experience your true self. In the beginning, it's going to be challenging, but the more you do it, and that leads us to the last point, is that consistency and repetition is crucial, is the mother of learning, but here is the mother of practicing. Because with meditation, it's like a river. You go with the flow, and it leads you to the divine ocean, infinite ocean of the supreme divine. And that is a journey, like I said. And so when you let go of everything, judgment, you just say, I'm going to sit, even if you do it only for 10 minutes in the beginning, with the Bijan Mantra I was saying, one of the last insight. For many of you don't know Bijan. Bijan comes from Sanskrit, just means seed, is a seed. It's a vibrational seed that serve as a safety buoy for you where you don't drown in the ocean. And if you don't know how to swim in the beginning and you need help, so you're sitting as you're meditating, when you need your Bijan Mantra, you bring it back. And there are some very specific ones some very powerful one, because every Bijan Mantra, because it comes from Sanskrit, so it has a vibration, and a vibration as a form. It has a mathematical form and sound, because every sound has a form and every form has a sound, and so it vibrates within you being. And so when you need to re-anchor yourself so you don't drown into the ocean, you bring back your Bijan Mantra. And that the last insight was, you can only be one with that ocean of divine love through practice in Dhyana meditation. Find a beautiful spot where you meditate. You don't need to sit cross-legged. You could have your leg just stretch. And I go everything into this coming empowerment in the next video satsang. That was a live stream we did. I decided it was best to send you over to do it here in our satsang, because that would take too much time in this video satsang. That other one allows you to prepare. Go sit with comfortable clothing. You always want to do it on a light stomach, and you don't need to be on an empty stomach, but light stomach at least. You don't want to go sit down, meditate after like a big meal. And always have a place where is your cocoon, where you're building energy. Create a beautiful place with a shrine, an altar, with photo, with flowers, where you sit, and a meditation pillow, and always go back to the same place where you meditate, and do it, beloved, regularly every day. You could start with at least minimum 10-15 minutes. And with this Dhyana meditation, with that Bijan Mantra, that you will be empowered in the next satsang, which was our last satsang last month. Very empowering. You will love it. It's on the live stream, and you can just click on the coming video. It's the sign of what, how to determine something like that, indicate that your Kundalini is awakening. And you will see right there through this satsang, we go in depth about Kundalini awakening, what are the signs, and always through our live satsang, which is called Drinking Bliss Divine Satsang, we have always a very empowering spiritual process. Often we meditate together. In that one, we do this Dhyana meditation. Even in depth, for half an hour, you will be empowered with the Bijan Mantra. Don't miss that. And if you are open for this blessing, just be in a state of receptiveness, very important. Like a child, non-judgmental, you will receive the blessing, because it's important to be empowered when you do this kind of meditation. And just treat it as if it's the pupil of your eyes, because it's a special gift for you. And just treat it as such, and you will see how you're going to blossom, and you will start experiencing your divine presence. So the benefits are so tremendous, because you will become more focused, with a new concentration, and with a new awareness, more expansion of consciousness, and more embracing. It will open up your heart, your hanahata, and you will be able to expand your boundary of consciousness. And so if you have any question, write that down into the comment section right now. And by the way, there is also another video satsang, those which I'm talking about. The first one, the empowerment, most important. The second one is demystifying meditation, a guide for all levels. Very empowering as well. And this is for all levels. So make sure you click on those video satsang and you watch them, and share and like and subscribe and join our loving community. And remember, we do have Drinking Bliss Divine Satsang. If some of you are not aware, it's such a gift, a blessing. Every month I come live stream for you here in our sanctum as well, and we do satsang. And through that satsang, we empower, we do life process, sometimes we do nidra yoga. You have a chance to interact directly with me, ask your question, and I'm here for you. So click on that empowerment button, the signs that your Kundalini is awakened, and do the entire satsang. Give that self the gift and the blessing to yourself. If you don't do it, who's going to do it? You, beloved, have the inner power inside to transform yourself and your life. Nobody's going to do it for you. It requires patience, perseverance, diligence, and viveka, discernment, and a guide, and the guidance, the proper guidance. So you have everything. So let's make it happen. And I look forward to your comment. Please share with our community, how is it for you? How is it for you to sit meditate? What is your challenge? Because other beloved might have the same challenges. So that's why we're here, so we can support each other and love each other, expand consciousness, and share your experience with Dhyana Lingam meditation. And Dhyana meditation is actually called Shiva meditation, which you're going to see in the next satsang. So I will see you in this upcoming Drinking Bliss Divine Satsang. And Namaste. I'm sending you a wave of divine love, light, and blessing and grace.